All right, we can have a
We're
little bit of
on.
a. Okay, after a long and challenging afternoon of trying to get Facebook to work, it appears we are now online and live. So my apologies for anyone who's watching this in hindsight, having expected us to be online much, much earlier. I'm delighted to be here with Rebecca Sampi and Rosie Sandover from Kingfisher Tours. Welcome again.
Welcome.
Welcome.
Thank
Welcome.
you. We're excited. We're on.
For anyone
Yes.
watching, the wonders of modern technology and trying to do live broadcasting online, it's sometimes a bit fractious. So we're here to talk about ecotourism products and eco-certified products. Rosie, you're a board member of Ecotourism Australia, so you're right in the thick of, in the middle of setting these standards. But you're also, I'm excited to talk to you guys because of the work that you're doing together, really setting the scene for some of the tourism in the Kimberley. Um, just to start with you, Rosie, could you tell me when you first realised you were going to be working across these sectors between sort of tourism and the sort of work that you're doing with Rebecca?
Oh, okay. Well, I think I started my project management company back, oh gosh, 25 years ago. Um, and that there was a lot of community development work in the project management company that was sort of a fallout of various projects that we did around remote Australia, and part of that was in the tourism sector as well. So I think probably, it all kind of blended together and made sense that there was an opportunity with tourism in particular, well, anywhere in Australia. We have, the oldest and incredibly interesting culture in the world, in this country. And these guys are, they are just hands down the most incredible tour guides, and their ideas and their understanding of, their country, and the ideas that they have to um, develop product or develop their ideas. I mean, to work with the likes of Beck in developing, so our tourism product as a whole is, it's fantastic. We have a lot of fun with that. But then also with Rebecca, with her own micro business around her bush medicine, which she bought from the tourism, and now developing her own products and getting a range together of, air spritzers and soaps, and, looking at even perfume oils later. Yeah, so it's very early stages, but I guess there's always those fallout opportunities, which is so important because it just adds to the sustainability for us, for our tour guides, that they have another income, because obviously tourism's seasonal up here, and there's an alternative income that can come in. It's We have a lot of expertise within the tourism business to be able to support our guides to develop these businesses. So I guess that's where it's just been a sort of natural attrition, I think, over the years. It seemed like the logical thing to do. If that
Yeah, definitely. No, Rebecca and I were talking a few moments ago, and I want to come back in a moment, Rebecca, to exactly what you're doing. But what I wanted to ask you, Rebecca, is in terms of the people of the Kimberley and the landscape of the Kimberley, what is it you think that most surprises people about the way that you and Kimberley people live and the world around you? What's the thing that really captures people's attention and surprises them most when they first visit?
Um, well, first encounter with Aboriginal people for starters, and they're
Mm.
um, a shock to see how we live, and the cultures around here are strong, and we're still going strong even after our elders have left us. We're still carrying that on from them and teaching our kids to do exactly the same thing. But being a tour guide out here in the Kimberley, we have so many beautiful places and hidden gems, like I've said earlier to you. And it's just showing them, the people, how we lived before our encounter with non-Indigenous people.
And there is a real sort of rough authenticity, I think, of people in the Kimberley in general. But I'm guessing that a lot of that comes from the local culture as well. The need to live on a land that is so large, and there's so much to learn from. What is a typical day? Can you again? My experience of people in Western Australia in general is that it's a very large place. There's a small population and there's a lot to do. Okay, to get by and to get by as a community as well. Describe a kind of typical day, and how do you reconcile all of that with the need to time to relax and take tourists out to see the place?
How do you? Sorry,
Yeah,
is that at me?
what's
Or,
the typical? Yeah, well,
oh,
either of you. Yeah, what's
you-
a typical what's a typical day? What's a typical day that you?
what during the tourist season for us?
Well, yeah, I mean, describe some of the challenges of just having to
Oh,
reconcile taking tourists with all the other
yeah,
stuff you have to do.
we're up at 4:30 in the morning. We're
Yep.
picking up guests. Lunches and all the food's been prepared the night before. Beck, say if it's down to the Bungles to Purnulullu, Beck's living down there at the KWE camp, so she's, getting up and getting everything sorted for her day before dawn. So our guests are in the planes by 6 o'clock in the morning. So, and they're off with the food with the pilots. They do a scenic tour down to the Bungles. They go across Lake Argyle, they go across Argyle Diamond Mine, the Osmond Ranges. They land, do a whole circuit of the Bungles and then land. And Rebecca is there with our four-wheel drive bus, and she welcomes them to country because she's a Gidja woman, and this is part of her country. And then they'll go with Beck and I guess, Beck does her tour, which is bush tucker and bush medicines. You go.
So yeah, I point out all the on the dome walk. We've got a 45-minute walk there, and on that walk I do the bush tucker and talk about how our people lived up in the caves and how we've got our burial sites there, and how they used to bury people back in the old days. I explain to them how they did it back then, and then I take them up to the lookout where we'll have some snacks or morning tea up there, and then into Cathedral where I'll sing with my clapping sticks there for them. And
I was going to say that's a sight to behold too, and it gives you goosebumps.
Yes.
So there'll be all the other tour guides now wait for Beck to walk in. They're like, hang on, wait there. And then Beck goes in first and there starts her clapping sticks and singing her, great grandmother's song into the cathedral gorge. And all the tour groups come in behind. That's hilarious. So funny. They know to wait.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, and this is. Yeah, no, it's good.
Yeah.
So that's, I mean, sort of that's a day. The day is the tour down at the Bungles and around to Echidna, and there's amazing stories that Beck tells of the country, and then she's, they're either overnighting at the lodges at the APT lodge because they're our partners. They're in the Mitchell, and then or they're back onto the plains and back up into Kununurra and off on another adventure the next day, or they stay down there for 2-3 days with our guides in the Bungles, doing a whole range of other things as well.
Yeah. So this is what I was thinking. Like you've just described a typical tourism day, which is for the tourists, but you guys are also doing other things. So Rebecca, you're also running your own business. So in between that, or you're also you found a business to take the bush plants that you're showing people and turning that into a livelihood for you and your community. Tell me a little bit more about that. You were telling me there was a number of ways that's working at the moment. You're running a native nursery and what your ambitions are for growing that business.
My ambition is to for a person like Aboriginal people, they can go out and have their business. It's not that hard to do things and use our stuff, what we've already got, you know, in our own backyards. We can use us bush medicine, bush tucker. We can make just about anything out of them. And just giving our younger people opportunities and for in jobs, you know, and hopefully give them wages instead of them being on Centrelink and, you know, thinking that life isn't worth living for them, because most of our kids, from peer pressure and other pressures that they get, they think that they're not worth living. So this is something I'm doing to help my mob see that if she can do it, well, anyone can.
Well, it's taking that leadership. Beck takes an extraordinary. I'm going to talk now.
Yeah.
Beck takes an extraordinary leadership role with her family as a matriarch, and also within the community, both in Kununurra and down in Waterman. Yeah, so she's also, as you can see, incredibly humble. But the kids come in and do a lot of the picking and the helping and preparing, and I guess that's where they're starting to see that, oh, look, we can do that, we can build this, we can grow this. This is quite something that we've got here, which is, it's great. It's fantastic to be around. It's so positive, and I think Beck's just her positivity, her great outlook on life is it's fantastic. It's fantastic, and I think that our guests always come back and comment on the bungles, and with any of the guides come back and of just how positive and our guides are, and what I guess their understanding of the country up here is, you know, it's not superficial. You're not just sort of flying through it. But having said that as well, you know, there is in the Kimberley, I think we're incredibly lucky because there are so many good tour operators up here. It's such a fantastic community of people that all look after each other from Broome through to Columbaroo. Yeah, I think it's where we are in quite an extraordinary industry up here.
Yeah.
That's growing and developing, and you know, people are starting to branch out, and yeah.
Okay, I've got a question I think to finish off with, which is quite a lot of people have been to the Kimberley. I think a lot of people. Beck and I actually were just talking before about how people come through and they often drive themselves in, and they might miss some of the things along the way. It's quite normal, I think, for people to come into places sometimes just quietly on their own to have a little look around. What could people get from the Kimberley from a second visit with you guys?
Oh, you do that one.
They can get knowledge of our culture and meeting people like me and other Aboriginal people in town. You know, they can just be friendly towards people instead of judging them or judging us. You know, or putting everybody in one basket. So yeah, just creating awareness.
I think what you were saying about, Beck was talking about reconciliation earlier, and with tourism, and how
we are telling our story to make people more aware of our culture and what we have lived through and seen. Not only us, but our old people, what they've seen and lived through, and now working together like Rosie and I do. It's just bringing our groups together again, I think.
Yeah, it's a great opportunity for reconciliation. I think one of our guides has said that he sees every tour as an opportunity for reconciliation. He thinks it's he thinks tourism is, as Beck does, as all of us do. We think it's a great opportunity for just that mutual understanding. It's and humour. There's a lot of humour in it all. A lot of love. Yeah.
And now we have this additional opportunity these days to extend these stories out through things like this as well, which I think is really touching to do. And hopefully before too long, Beck, we'll see your products start appearing on shelves in places around Australia. Some of your soaps and shampoos and things made out of the bush medicine you were talking about earlier on. Look, I could talk all day about this, but we have to probably keep finish now. But I really hope we get a chance to do something again and talk more. I know you're producing little videos about your work as well, so hopefully when we get those through, we can pull some of those into our feeds and get those out to people that we talk to. And tomorrow we're catching up on a webinar as well, Rosie. I don't know whether you're able to join us as well, Rebecca, but you're more than welcome if you are. And we're just going to chat to people about more about the Kimberley and what they can expect from a bit of travel. Hopefully we won't have as many technical issues as we have today. So it looks like it's getting dark there. You want to probably go and enjoy a sunset. And it's time for that gin and tonic, after all.
Yes, time for that gin and tonic. Thanks.
All right. Well, look, lovely to meet you both.
Right.
Yep.
Thanks.
You too.
Thanks very much for your time.
Okay.
Cheers.